Hi everyone, Monique here, Little Gems Creations 1. Today we are going to be making an extra small dog hoodie or a cat hoodie. You can use it for either. So if it's an extra small, that would fit like say a 2 to 4 pound dog, and for a cat it would fit a larger size kitten. So maybe like the teenage hood of a cat or a very small cat. Okay, we're gonna start that in just a moment. Hi everyone, Monique here, Little Gems Creations 1. Today we are making an extra small dog sweater or cat sweater. It would be for a small cat, a very small cat, or a larger kitten. We're using a 4.5 millimeter crochet hook. Now, if you ever do the clay on the hooks, don't go as high as I did. I'm wishing I had gone to about here instead, because that way I find that my loops, there's not enough room for them doing this so high. So if you do this, do it better than me. Okay, anyway, so you're gonna need a 4.5 millimeter crochet hook. You're gonna need some yarn. Today I'm using Red Heart Comfort. The color is, it's a coast print, it's called. E707D. You can see it. There you go. And it is a pardon me. It is a 4-ply medium. Okay. So you're gonna need your yarn. You're gonna need a pair of scissors. You're gonna need a darning needle, and yeah, that's what you're gonna need. So to start, we are going to chain 6. So to do a chain, we cross our yarn, we chain 6. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. Then going into not this chain, but this chain, we are going to do a single crochet. So you go into there, pull through, yarn over through your 2 loops. That's a single crochet. So we're going to do so that we have 5 of these, okay? Here we go. We got 5 of these. And then we are going to chain up 1 and turn our work. Now, when we're going in here, so you see, this is where we usually go through. We go through our little heart, right? And we go through both sides like this, normally. But you know what we're going to do for this one? We're only going to go through that back part, okay? So here's our chain 1. So in that stitch, the first stitch, we're going into the back part. See, I've only gone in the back part. Pull through and go through your 2 loops, single crochet. And you want 5 stitches. We're not counting the chain as a stitch. So 2, 3, 4, and 5. Chain 1, turn your work. Now we're going to do this back and forth for 40 rows, okay? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now by just going in those back loops, we're getting this kind of ridge, okay? See how that works there? And that kind of looks like what you call a ribbing, which is the bottom part of a sweater that just hangs on a bit tighter. So this is the bottom part of our hoodie. So do 40 rows of this back and forth, and meet me back. Hi, okay, so I've done my 40 rows. See, aren't they cute? And see, that's the ridge that I was talking about that makes it like a sweater. Okay, so now what we're gonna do is we're gonna fold this over without twisting, and we are gonna slip stitch in to the other side, okay? Then we're gonna chain up 2. 1, 2. Okay, so now we have this. Now we're gonna start working in the round. So we're gonna do 7 rows of half double crochet, but what we have to do is we have to pick up 40 stitches. Our chain 2 does not count as a stitch. So here's what I do. See how there's this kind of like little hole there? And then there's a stitch. And then the next one, there's a little hole, and then there's a stitch. So that's how I'm gonna pick up my stitches. So yarn over. First we're gonna start into the stitch. 1, then into the hole. 2, stitch, 3, hole, 4, stitch, 5, hole. See the hole is right there. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, stitch, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, and we're at the other side. Okay, so see, we're at the other side. So here's our chain. So we are going to go into that second chain of the chain 2. Okay, and we are going to slip stitch. Chain 2. Now, so we have this little opening here. Don't worry about that. Later, we're going to use the tail and just sew it shut. So we're going to do 7 rows round and round on these stitches now. Okay, so first we went into the chain. Next round, we're going to go into the stitch. Now you're asking, why do I do this? If I don't do this, my stitches start going sideways. I don't know why, it happens all the time. If you don't have that issue, by all means, just connect into the chain each time. Make sure you always have 40 stitches. Do not count the chain as a stitch. just count the stitches. So 40 stitches, 7 rows. This counts as row 1. Do that, meet me back. So I've done my 7 rows. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. So then I chained up 2, and I ended up on the chained one where you go into the chain. Now we're going to pick up 20 stitches, okay? So 1, 2, and 3, 4. And we're just doing it like we would normally. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20. Now remember, we're not counting that chain 2 as a stitch. Chain up 2, turn your work, and now we're just going to work back and forth on these 20 stitches for a total of 6 rows. So this counts as row 1. We're going to go back and forth for a total of 6 rows. Doesn't that look cute already though? Oh, so adorable. Okay, so back and forth on these 20 stitches, 6 rows. This counted as row 1. Meet me back. So here we are. I did my 6 rows. 1, 2, 3, 4. Sorry, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. So I made my loop big, and I'm going to leave a bit of a tail. Now very gently, I'm pulling that tail to, not tight, because we're going to pick it out after. Okay. So now, that was the back. So now we're going to work on the tummy part. So you see here, I have this stitch going into this, and then I have this stitch. So we're going to go where that stitch is going in. See, right there. We're going to grab our yarn, and I'm holding it at the back with my middle finger, see there? We're going to pull through and chain 2. 1, 2, okay? Now we're going to pick up 20 stitches across here. And then I'm going to show you how we decrease for the armholes. So do not count that chain 2 as a stitch. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 17, 18, 19, and 20. See, that has us back. So then we're going to chain up 2, 1, 2. Okay, let me double check because I'm seeing, just a minute, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 19, 20. Yeah, and then my chain 2. Okay. So see here, I actually had an extra stitch for some reason. Normally that doesn't happen. So what you would do in that case is you would pull it back and then do your chain in the first stitch instead of the one that already had a stitch, which I'm going to go do off camera and then we'll meet back. Okay, now we're going to chain up 2, 1, 2, turn our work. Okay, now we're going to start decreasing each end. So we're going to go in here, pull through, we got 3 loops, yarn over into the next stitch, pull through, 5 loops, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yarn over, go through all 5 loops. So that just turned 2 stitches into 1, okay? Now we're going to go all the way to the other side. So this row should have 18 stitches. So this is 2, 3, half double crochet still, 4. And if you haven't had a chance, don't forget to hit the like and subscribe. 5, 6, and if you want notifications of when I do another 7 video, hit the little bell. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. So now we know this is a row of 18, so we just have these 2 stitches left. So yarn over into the stitch, pull through, yarn over into the next stitch, pull through. Yarn 5 loops. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 loops. Yarn over, go through all 5 loops. And we have 18 stitches. Chain up 2, 1, 2, turn your work. And now we're going to go right into a decrease. Yarn over into the stitch, pull through, yarn over into the next stitch, pull through. Yarn over, go through all 5 loops. We're going to do this back and forth, decrease each end until you're down to 10 stitches in the row. Do that, meet me back. And so I'm at 10 in that row. And now I just did my last stitch. I'm going to reach to the back here, turn that chain 2 so I can see it, and I'm just going to slip stitch into the chain 2 on the back. And chain up 2, 1, 2, make your loop big. Okay, so we've just basically made an armhole. Okay, now you remember that one I told you not pull tight? We're going to go back, pick that out, go back in there, and we're going to do the same thing, attach to that chain 2. It's a little bit tricky, but there we go. And we're just going to do a slip stitch. And then pull your tail through the loop, and this time pull tight. And that can go down the center so it's out of our way. Go back to our loop that we made. Now, doing the math. We have 10 stitches on this side and 20 on that side, so we're going to have 30 stitches. So we are going to do 3 rows of half double crochets for the neck, okay? So make sure your good side's facing you, and you're just going to start, and we're going to get 30 stitches. Do not count your chain 2 as a stitch. Also, first time you're going to go into the chain, second into the stitch, third into the chain. And then we're going to meet back and we will start the hood part of our sweater. So do the neck, which is 3 rows, half double crochets, alternating going into the chain, into the stitch, into the chain. Meet me back. I've done my 3 rows for the neck and I'm just about to attach into the chain. Okay. Make a big loop. Cut a tail. Okay. Pull your tail through your loop. Pull tight. Okay. Now, here's what I want you to look at. This is your chain, right? So we're going to count 5 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. On the 6th one, put your hook. Okay? So, let's check that again. There's our chain. That's where we attached. And then we're at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. In the 6th is there. Okay? So what we're going to do now is we're taking our yarn. We are attaching it. This is going to be the hood. Okay? So we are going to go all the way around half double crochets, okay? So the main thing is that we got the placing for the hole, okay? So there's our armholes, okay? This is our chain space. So we are going to go around and then we'll end up back here, okay? So go around, do half double crochets, meet me back. So you should end up with 30 stitches. Now, when you get here, we are not going to connect. We are going to chain up 2. We are going to turn our work. And then we're going to do a decrease. We're going to do a decrease each end, okay? So, only for this row. That's it. This is the only row we do this. So yarn over into the stitch, pull through, yarn over into the next stitch, pull through, just like we did before. Okay. So this is going to make it so we have 28 stitches on this row. Now I'm just going to tell you what we're going to do. So 28 stitches for this row, because you're going to take down at each end. So when you get to this end, you're going to decrease again for a total of 28 stitches. Then you are going to do 10 rows. So this counts as 1, this row will count as 2, and you're going to do a total of 10 rows back and forth on these stitches. No more decreases, just 10 rows total. So the foundation row counts as 1, the decrease row counts as 2, and then you'll do a total of 10. So 8 more rows after these 2, okay? And then meet me back. I'm back. I've done my 10 rows. So now I want you to leave a nice long tail, like I'm talking like 10 inches or something, because we need it for sewing. Okay. And then we're going to pull our tail through our loop. Pull tight. So this is what we're looking at. I need to zoom out. Ooh, zoomed out a bit too much. You can see my messy room. Okay. So see, this is what we're looking at. We have our opening here. We have our opening for the face here. We have our armholes here. Okay, so we're going to turn this inside out. Okay, so we'll start here. We're going to take our darning needle and we are going to thread it. Okay, so now what we're going to do, putting these two sides together, we are going to go and do what's called a whip stitch. I always do a couple to start off just to give it some extra security. Okay, right here, and then we're just going to work out the seam, okay? And I'm just catching one side of each stitch. Can you see that? It's hard to see. Here, maybe I can zoom in a bit. There. So I'm taking one side of each stitch. So there's the side and there's the side. And there we go. So that was my whole hem. So here I'm going to do a knot. So I'm going to go here, pull through, still keep my loop. Okay, and then I'm going to go through the loop once. I'm going to go through the loop twice. And I'm going to pull that tight. Not so tight that I distort the stitches, but tight enough. Now, you never cut where you knot. So I'm just going to put a few extra stitches. Okay, just in and around there. Okay, and then I'll give this a snip. That's the first one. Now, all the others are just normal hiding threads, right? Except for the top where, okay, let me zoom out a bit. Okay, so here, we have to sew up the top of the hood. So, again, thread your needle. So I'm just going to go through the stitches a couple of times at the beginning, just to give it that extra security. Okay. So, see here, we've got this side and that side of the stitch. Maybe I'll zoom in a bit again. That side and that side of the stitch, that side and that side of the stitch, that's what we're catching. We're catching those edges together, okay? Okay, and we're going to do that all the way down. Okay. We'll do this all the way down. And again, when we get to the other end, so see, going here and then out there. And then sorry, I'm working around a camera. Here and there. There and there. And there and there. All the way to the end. Okay, and at the very end again, couple stitches, and I'm going to do a knot. So go through, keep your loop, go through your loop once, and 3 loop twice. Always go through your loop the same way. So if you're going in from the front and the back, then do that. Pull tight. Not enough to distort your stitches, okay? Now hide the rest of your threads, and then we'll meet back and we'll do our pom-pom. Okay, so I'm back. I hid all my threads. So now what we're gonna do is we are gonna put this to the side. We are taking a fork. Okay, so it's a large fork. We are cutting a length of yarn. Okay. Take the length of yarn and put it in the middle space of your fork. Okay, so see, this is what I've done. Okay. Now, taking your yarn, okay, so hold this kind of out of the way, okay? Taking your yarn, we're going to start wrapping around the fork, and I count, okay? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then I stop. Now, in the middle there, we're going to take a little bit of school glue, like Elmer's school glue. We're going to put a little bit just in the center there, both sides. Okay, make sure it stays on both sides. And now we're going to keep wrapping. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Do it again. Just a little bit, not much. Both sides. Just in the middle. Okay, let's wrap again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's go 6 and 6, 7. Let's go 8. Okay, a little bit more glue. Okay, both sides. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. So now, I don't know, we did 10, we did 5 glue, 5 glue, 8 glue, 8 glue. So we're at 26. So now I'm going to take these 2 that we had in the middle. I put it through. Let me zoom in. I put it through this space, and I'm going to tie it really tight, but not so tight that I break the yarn, because I have done that and that's no good. Okay, so really tight on the bottom one and then that one. Okay, you can snip your working yarn. Okay, if you want to, you can feed this through. Feed that through and take, whoops, this one and put it through the top. Same places as before, and then just tie an extra knot. Really tight. Don't snap your yarn though. Learn from my mistakes. Okay, really tight. Okay, now we're gonna do something crazy. We're popping it off. Make sure you wash your fork in case you got glue on it. I know, I shouldn't have to tell you that. Now, see here we have our loop. We're gonna go in, we're gonna start cutting those loops. You wanna get all of them. But you're not going through these strings. You're just doing the edges. Okay, so then you kind of spread them around. Make sure you cut through all the loops. Okay, and then we do the other side. Cut through all those loops. Okay. Okay, and now we're gonna just fluff out our pom-pom. Okay, and this is where you would give it a trim. Fluff it out first, and then give it a trim. Don't cut your tails here. I'm holding those tails in my hand. You don't want to cut those because that's how we're attaching. But you can cut all the other ones, and you just kind of flip up your pom-pom. If you want to, you can use the fork and comb it out. I would wait until it's more dry though before you do that. And if you have any that are extra long threads, or if it's not very rounded, just trim it. You made one. If you mess it up, whoops, sorry. You made one. If you mess it up, you can always make another. Okay. Then, so let's move this out of the way. Okay. Turn your hoodie back inside in. Okay. So that long tail is still there. Okay, let me zoom out a bit. Okay. So now, using your crochet hook, you're going to go into the corner there. Actually, where's my thread? Here's my long thread that I left. So I'm going to go on one side of that thread and grab this. So this is the right side, this is the wrong side. Okay, I'm going to grab one of the tails and pull it through. Okay, I'm going to go on the other side of this thread, go here and pull that tail through. I'm caught on something. There we go. So I've got 3 in here, okay? So the really long one is the one that I left from sewing. So I'm going to tie one tail to the long tail. Nice and tight. And then I'm going to tie the other tail to the long tail. Nice and tight. And then maybe just to be double sure, I'll take the 2 short tails and tie them to the long tail. 1. I'm paranoid about my stuff falling apart. And even though I always say don't cut where you knot, this is the one time that I just cut where I knot. And I put, don't tell anyone, but I put a little teeny dab of glue. Come on, glue. There you go. Just teeny on my knot. Okay. You see, voila. We've got a pretty pom-pom on the... Okay, that's a lousy French accent, but my name is French, so you think I could speak French, but no. This is your dog hoodie. Isn't it the most cutest thing? Or your cat hoodie, whichever you prefer. There you go. There's the little head goes. Aww. And then little paws. Aww. It's so sweet. Okay, so that's it. Thanks so much for watching. Hit the like and subscribe. Don't forget to hit the little bell if you want notifications of a new video. If the bell doesn't always work, so come and check in on Thursdays because I try and do a new video every Thursday. Thanks for watching. Have a great day. Bye now.